Hello guys, in today's video, an e-bike that at first glance promises freedom of movement without restrictions, without thinking about the surface and without the feeling that you have to pay attention to where you are riding. In front of us is the Cleytro ES7, an electric bike with a 26-inch fat tires that combines a powerful 750-watt motor, a large 48-watt battery that promises a very good range of 90 plus kilometers, strong acceleration and stability on all terrains. But how does it actually behave when you take it out on the road? Let's start from the beginning and watch this Cleytro ES7 video review. The bike comes in a large sturdy box that makes it clear at the first contact that there is something serious inside. Everything is well protected. The frame is wrapped in protection and the individual parts are additionally secured to avoid damage during transport. When unpacking, it immediately becomes clear that you are not starting from scratch. The main structure is already assembled. What remains is the installation of the front fender, front wheel, handlebars, pedals and a few basic adjustments. Inside the box, in addition to the bike, you will find the charger, instructions and a handlebar mount with screws. We even got the thumb throttle. The assembly process itself is relatively simple and does not require any special experience. You can prepare the bike for riding in a relatively short time. Everything is organized logically without unnecessary complications. When we assembled it and took it outside into the daylight, the first impression was even stronger than we expected. This is not a bike that fits into the environment. This bike immediately attracts attention because it looks massive, serious and different, especially in this white color combination. The massive 26x4 fat tires immediately dominate and give it that off-road character that you can't ignore. Combined with the white frame and the black rugged lines of the rest of the bike, the whole thing looks like something between a classic bike and a small SUV. When it's standing in front of you, it feels wide, stable and confident. There is no sense of fragility. Everything about it says it's built for something more. At over 30 kilograms, this is not a light bike, but that mass actually provides stability. When you ride it, it doesn't feel nervous, doesn't react suddenly, and doesn't lose control easily. Everything goes smoothly and predictably. The aluminum alloy frame feels solid, compact and serious. Everything is connected into the single unit that inspires confidence, which is also proven by its 250 kilograms maximum load capacity, which it can withstand, and it's truly fantastic. The sitting position is relatively upright and comfortable. It doesn't force you to lean forward like on sports models, which means that your back and shoulders are relieved during longer rides. The heart of this bike is a 750-watt brushless motor located into the rear wheel, which develops around 18 Nm of torque depending on the load and riding conditions, and that's what you feel right away when you first start moving. The power doesn't come suddenly and aggressively, but linearly and controlled. When you start from a standstill, there is no jerks, but constant acceleration from beginning brings you up to the speed very quickly. It is legally limited to 25 km/h for EU market, but it is clear that the engine has reserves, and above that, if the limit is removed, you can ride it up to 55 km/h, which is really refreshing. On the flat, the ride feels smooth, almost silent, with a single engine hum that quickly disappears while riding. The bike maintains speed without any problems and does not leave the impression of effort even on longer sections. On the hills, its true potential comes to the fore. Thanks to the high torque, the bike does not choke or slow down suddenly. It provides enough power to easily overcome more serious slopes, especially with the correct use of gears. Altogether it gives a feeling of control, no surprises, no sudden jumps, just a stable and reliable power delivery. Here we have a Shimano 7-speed transmission, which is proven, simple and reliable in everyday use. Although it is not high-end multi-bike equipment, it does exactly what it's supposed to do, allowing you to adapt to different terrains without complications. The gear changes are mechanical but precise. When the system is well tuned, the transitions between gears are smooth and without skipping. The bike shows its adaptability in different situations. The pedal assist mode provides the most natural feeling as the motor assists proportionally to your pedal strokes, creating the impression that you are simply stronger than usual. This is the mode you will use most often, whether in the city or on the open road. We also have this classic mode without assistance, allowing you to ride like a regular bike, which is useful if you want to save battery or simply enjoy a completely mechanical experience. And the cruise function maintains a constant speed without having to constantly press the pedals, which is ideal for flat and long sections. Now in the middle of the handlebars is a colorful 4.8-inch LCD HD display that delivers key information such speed, assistance level up to 5 levels, battery status and total mileage. The screen is large enough and readable even in bright sunlight, which is important in real-life riding. The controls on the handlebars are simple: buttons for turning on, increasing and decreasing assistance and basic functions. After a few minutes of use, everything becomes completely intuitive. One of the most important elements of the Cleytro ES7 is the battery, because it defines how far you can go without thinking about charging. Here we have talked about the 48-watt battery with a capacity of about 18 amp-hour, which in practice means approximately 864 watt-hour of energy, and that is already a serious figure in this class. On the paper, the manufacturer states a range of up to 90 plus kilometers in optimal conditions, in pedal assist mode, at moderate speed and flat terrain. In real conditions, where you have combination of city hills and occasional use of the gas, it is more realistic to expect between 60 and 70 kilometers, and that's honestly a very good value for a bike of this power and weight. The battery is removable, which is a huge plus in everyday use. You can take it out in the one go, take it to your apartment or office and charge it without having to drag the whole bike. Charging takes about 6 to 8 hours, which is a standard charger, which means you can charge it overnight without any problems. Later, just insert the battery and you are on your way again. Also, the battery is stably integrated into the frame without wobbling or vibrating while riding, which further gives a sense of quality. The ES7 comes with front and rear hydraulic disc brakes, which provide a sufficient, strong and stable stopping power. Braking is progressive, there is no sudden wheel lock or unpredictable reactions. The levers have a good feel under your fingers, so you know exactly how much force you are applying. In the city, that means safely during sudden stops, while on downhills it gives you control without feeling like you are going to lose stability. For this class and this weight, a braking system like this is a must, and it is very well implemented here. One of the most dominating things about this bike are its 26 by 4.0 fat tires, and it's not just an aesthetic detail, it defines the entire riding experience. The width of the tires allows for much greater contact with the ground, which results in a better grip and stability. It gives a feeling of security on the asphalt, but a real difference can be seen outside of it. On gravel, sand, dirt or bad asphalt, their tires literally absorb the terrain instead of feeling every bump. The bike goes over obstacles much softer and more controlled, thanks to hydraulic suspension fork in the front and the central rear suspension. The bike effectively absorbs shocks and vibrations, providing a comfortable driving experience even of rough terrain, even bad asphalt, small gravel or forest paths. Although it is not intended for extreme downhill descents, for everyday bumps and mixed terrain, it noticeably increases comfort and stability. The comfort is further enhanced by the large and wide seat, which is at first glance made for longer rides, not just short city trips. In addition to the width and softer padding, interesting detail is the opening in the middle that create a ventilation effect. In practice, that means that you can ride longer without the feeling of discomfort that often occurs with the narrow and harder seats, which combined with the rest of the suspension and the fat tires further increases the overall feeling of comfort on this bike. On this bike, it is immediately clear that the light is not just there as an accessory but a serious part of safety. The front light is large, centrally placed and provides a wide, strong beam that illuminates the road in front of you. It's not a small symbolic light but concrete solution that makes sense when riding in the dark or in a poor visibility. At the back, it is a LED light that also has a braking function. That means that when you press the brake, it automatically boosts and clearly signals to the vehicles behind you that you are slowing down. In practice, that provides an additional layer of safety, especially in the city and at night. All in all, it works simply but effectively. You see and you are seen. After many kilometers of riding through various conditions, from everyday city life to gravel roads and light off-road, the Cleytro ES7 leaves a very concrete and clear impression. This is not a bike that tries to be everything to everyone. This is a bike that knows exactly what it wants to be: powerful, stable and ready for the terrain. After the first kilometers, you understand where its greatest value lays. It is not just the power of a 750-watt motor, although it is certainly felt. It is not just the large battery that gives you the freedom to long rides. It is not even the appearance, although it is hard to ignore. The real value, it is a combination of all this. The ES7 is built for people who want more than just a city ride. At the end of the day, the Cleytro ES7 isn't perfect, but it's fun, powerful, stable and different from the most. So if you are attracted to idea of getting on a bike and not thinking about where you can go, but just going, then this is a model that is worth serious considering. If you are interested, the official link to purchase is below in the video description. Pay attention to the price and availability, because models like this, especially in this class, can sell out quickly. Quantities are limited, and if you are considering a Cleytro ES7 e-bike like this, maybe now is the right time to get it before it disappears from stock. And if this review helped you, leave a like, subscribe and see you in the next video. Until then, bye.